Namaste. My name is Rishabh and I'm an architect based out of New Delhi. I'm a lead AP in building design and construction, and in today's video we're going to learn about the test process for the LEED Green Associate exam. This won't be tested in the exam, but it's important to know about the exam before attempting one. So just sit back and relax and hear out the complete test process. I will let you know the important parts that you need to remember for the exam that you can take a note of. And this video is part of a social initiative where we are trying to build a community of professionals who wants to work towards mitigating the climate change. So please do hit subscribe and like. That will help us grow and provide more such free content to you. So let's get going. So this is the second video for the LEED Green Associate exam prep. I would quickly explain you how LEED Green Associate exam is marked. Spoiler alert, there is no negative marking, but I hope you don't need to use that route. We will learn who all are eligible for the exam format, and would give you some helpful tips that would come handy while you attempt the exam. I have already created a complete question-wise question bank in which you can go and practice about the different lead categories. It's the link is in the description, and in case you require any kind of fee waiver or anything, you can contact me on the mentioned addresses. LEED Green Associate exam tests general knowledge of commercial and residential green buildings. This means for this exam, we need not dive too much into LEED specific requirement, but we would need to know the general concepts and strategies of green building. In my personal experience, I remember a lot of strategy based questions being asked, while there were very few numerical based questions. One need to have a strong knowledge of strategies and basic lead terminologies. In the question bank, you will find most of the questions test your knowledge on strategy and terminologies. Link is in the description. I remember being nervous before my exam, but don't be afraid. The exam is easier than you might be thinking right now. You can either choose to give the exam at a test center, or you can give it online from the comfort of your home. The third-party testing agency monitors the exam, and if you're giving it from your home or office, make sure you are alone and there is no reading material around you and your phone is off and kept somewhere else. Most importantly, if you have a stable internet connection, the exam works well both in Windows as well as Mac. And now I think the most awaited question, what are the passing marks? The test is scored out of 200 points and you need to have a minimum of 170 or above to pass the exam. I know the bar seems a little high right now, but trust me, like with little studying, it'll seem very easier. When you clear your exam, you can request a hard copy of your certificate for some additional charges. You can use the title Lead Green Associate. This is a point to remember that you cannot use the title Lead GA as it is not accepted. Please note anything highlighted in yellow is something that you should remember for the exam. So, how do we register for the exam? The first and foremost requirement is that you must be 18 years or old to give the exam. And that's pretty much it. You can be from any profession, any background, or any experience, and you're still eligible for the exam. And you would need to agree to the policies of the lead and the lead credential maintenance. After the registration, you have a year to schedule your exam. I recommend that you try and get an exposure to lead concepts and building before opting to register for the exam, because then you know that why are you giving the exam. I would also recommend you to register for the exam once you decide that you want the credential and then you start studying. Personally, for me, this technique works because I'm a little bit procrastinator. So once I paid the fees, and I was more determined and clear that I need to clear the exam. Credential maintenance would be an important aspect of your credential. You would not like to give the exam every 2 years just to maintain your credential. The idea behind CE, also known as continuing education, is that you remain updated about what's happening in the world of green buildings. You would need to give 15 hours in 2 years to work towards your CE hours. It is very much doable. You can do it either in your holidays or spread it evenly throughout the year. I personally completed all my CERs in a very short span of time, so I just did it in a kind of a month's time. To find courses, when you go to the USGBC website and log in, you will find education tab on the top. And when you click it, you land onto the education page of the USGBC. And then you can add filters to navigate to lead green associate specific courses, and further you can opt for the free courses. Like these are the free courses available on the USGBC website that would count towards your CERs to help you maintain your credential associate. There are various other ways also that can be used to maintain credential. Education is just one of them. You can also fill your hour requirement by working on lead project that shall count towards your project experience. You can also choose to volunteer to fill in your CERs. You can log onto the LEED online website and find various volunteer opportunities that would count towards your CERs. Now let's talk about the exam format. LEED Green Associate exam is a computer-based exam. All are multiple choice question. The exam is timed by the computer and you are given 120 minutes to solve 100 questions, so that roughly gives you a minute to solve every question, which in my personal experience is more than enough as most of the questions are direct and you don't require any calculations to be done. There is no negative marking, so please make sure you attempt all the questions even if you might not even if you're not sure of some. You need a score of more than 170 to clear the exam. Right now, it might seem a little high, but trust me, it's easier to actually get the score. I got 188 in my lead green associate exam back in May 2021. I lagged a little bit in lead material and resources and integrative strategies. I hope you don't. Now let's discuss about the questions format. The questions in the lead green associate are designed to check your abilities in application of the strategy, analysis, and being able to recall. There are multiple correct answers in the questions, but the good news is that it is mentioned how many options that you should pick. But this also means you need to be very thorough with your preparation, as such instances can be very challenging. Please pause the video and go through the above questions on the types of the questions that will be asked. Now that you have experienced the type of question that will be asked, you can understand the amount of efforts required in studying for the exam. I created a bank of practice questions chapter wise that will test your ability and would help you prepare. The questions have been designed based on the above criteria so that you are more confident before appearing for the real one. The link is available in the description and you can contact me if you have any doubts. Now let's come how to study for the exam. A lot of students message me, especially on LinkedIn, on how do I prepare for the exam. Well, to be honest, I did not take most efficient route, so I won't be talking about that over here. But I'll tell you the more efficient way to study. It would roughly take you about 3 months of preparation. Might be a little less if you're an architect or a design professional. In the first month, I would recommend try understand what is Lead Green Associate all about. Lead Green Associate Handbook that is available on the USGBC website is completely free. I am also attaching its link in the description. You can find a ton of content on Google and YouTube. Feel free to message me also. So after you understand, only then apply for the exam on the USGBC website. You can also look on the LinkedIn what kind of job opportunities are there for the Lead Green Associate and people who hold lead credentials. After applying, start developing a study plan. Try to be as consistent with your study plan as possible. Since there would be a lot to memorize, I would recommend start by recalling previous things you studied so memorization becomes easy. Make notes if that helps you. I would be highlighting the important things to remember in the following videos, so do take note of that. After that, start studying Lead BD plus C new construction checklist as most of the concepts are very similar in the Lead Green Associate exam. In the second month, start studying about the references used in Lead version 4, know the minimum project requirement, intents of the criteria, various strategies and impact categories. You will find all of this content in my videos further. You will need to memorize all the standards that Lead refers to quite thoroughly. You would at least find 5 to 7 questions regarding the standards. For example, Astra 0 is used for mechanical and electrical standards, while Astra 90.1 is used for energy and lighting standards. Yeah, that can be quite confusing. In the last month, practice as much sample question papers as you can get your hands on. I would strongly recommend you to even evaluate the wrong options. You should know the meaning of every option. Also, it would help you prepare quite thoroughly. In my question bank, every wrong option is put very logically to give you a strong understanding of the concepts. Keep practicing till the time you get all of them right, and you know the meaning of all the options. So yeah, that's pretty much. If you like the video, please do hit like and subscribe. The video is part of the Lead Green Associate Exam Prep course, which is completely free on YouTube. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel, and it will help us grow and make the course on sustainability completely free, as that is the need of the hour. Thanks and see you soon.